good evening for that. I just want to say that we talking about forest before the biodiversity, but usual we're talking more generally biodiversity and how I understand the forest is a part of biodiversity because it's just changing in your mind, and I think every technical problem will solve. My presentation about the mountains, biodiversity and the ecosystem in Kyrgyzstan as a resource of the green economy. Okay, but focus on biodiversity. You can see this picture, different animals, plants and other things, and I think it's very understandable. But what I want to say, if you compare it with the presentation which was before, our position is biodiversity is not, or ecosystem is not just it's not just food, it's not just other things which bring for humanity. Very important thing that biodiversity make ecosystem special ecosystem services. But before talking about this, I want to describe you what is the important things for the mountains ecosystems. It's how you can see here. It's the top of. This is the right one. Okay, in the top of the mountains, it's glaciers, and we talked about this, and the safe water and exist in the big part of our country. But down there you can see different types of ecosystems. Just one of them is the forest, other one is the meadows, and other speciality of the ecosystem. But what is important is that we have mountain lakes and special biodiversity around these mountain lakes. It's very different, very positive. In this map you can see how many types of ecosystem in Kyrgyzstan. Because it's mountains can create a special environment for different types of ecosystems. And now we can see here we have 21 types of different ecosystems. What is important for this? That mountains biodiversity ecosystem has some specifics. I want to share you with this. It's of course it's first the zoning specifics, and down zone up there it's a very different types of environmental ecosystem. Small areas of the species and high level of frequency of endemics, a lot of endemics in this ecosystem, and high level of sensibility of anthropogenic pressures. It's very mountain ecosystem are very sensitive for these pressures. It's very important for us. And mountain ecosystem provide different ecosystem services for the whole region. We want to clarify these points. What we mean? Because ecosystem is not, it's a system, and our position that plantation is not forest, and forest is not plantation. But trees in forest and trees in plantation, but it's very different types. And because it's other machinery, different machinery. And here in this picture you can see different types of ecosystem. First, of course, it's cutting, it's not grow ecosystem. And these two types of ecosystem do not provide ecosystem services. You understand this, cutting dying ecosystem, and here you can understand it's a growing ecosystem. Growing ecosystem, they use whole energy just for growth, not for ecosystem services. But we need to focus on our position just for this. How we call it? Okay, it's a developed ecosystem. Okay. And just one example of why it's important to keep real natural ecosystem, for example, near the river. It's very understandable. If we have forest near the river, it's called the Tugay forest, special kind of forest. There is a lot of biodiversity, and a river share this through, yes, and not very dry around this bridge. But here, and if we cut this forest, you can see that it's other type of flue and a very big desertification around this area. And you can see there's water here and water here, but it's a different type of water and a different type of landscape and other things. That's why our suggestion is focus on this ecosystem and please keep it. Okay, but this is challenges for biodiversity, but it's very general. Maybe we will jump at the next. You can see here. I don't want to describe everything because whole world tried living this ecosystem of foundation, and I think it's everywhere the same story. But what is important is that we have economic, social, and environmental challenges here. Okay. I want to jump the next slide because I understand there's no time. But it's very interesting. It's a special model which shows what happens with mountain ecosystem if climate change. No, we understand that it's coming. Climate is changing, and here we can see what happened and how this ecosystem up. Sometimes some ecosystem up and in the down, it's very dry situation, and a lot of species come up. But here it's changes for whole Central Asia region, and you can see what happened. If we need more information, I can provide, but just now it's very understandable in my opinion. But what is the solution? What is our suggestion for the solution? Change the approach of the project management, create the new project areas and EcoNet. And here you can see that some organization up it's the international organization, and down the Kyrgyz organization who are working in this area, and I think it's continue this partnership. Update the red list in Kyrgyzstan, it's very important. Develop national plan for diversity conservation, the models sometimes we should release it in the next step. And what we want to say is what we did. It's good practicals. We make individuals ecological security, identification, water quality, and water ecosystem quality. I think it's important for the mountains. Information campaign about the red list species. We did it, but we need a new red list because now it's very simple. Creation public protection areas. This is we did, but we needed more. I think it's very important, and if somebody wants to understand the how it's working, I can describe deeply. And say the ecosystem of a single lake, which project water. This initiative of PES for giving for ecosystem services, and the implementation of ecosystem approach to asset and forest management. And what is the lesson learned? You understand that all of us talk about the lesson learned, and we try to what we did good, what we did, try to understand what we did good, what we did bad. It is necessary to implement community level natural resource management. Additional finance and technologies is important for protection of biodiversity and the ecosystem. Alternative for local people help protect biodiversity, and to protect natural parks, protected areas is a reality, but it's not in the papers. It's very important that parks should be parks, protected areas should be protected areas. It should working like a real ecosystem. And it's necessary to improve the status of people which work in natural sector. We need to improve the level of the teachers, doctors, and I think ecologists. Thank you very much.